Alright, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Hakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, and bishops of great millstone that told me this truth, that rule well. Shalom to the elect that scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Quadash Payah. I got, two articles here. Alright, there's the headline over there in Texas. Police officer warns street preachers they face citation if someone is offended at the rally, the LG, to the P rally, right? It says a viral video from Fort Worth, Pride rally has sparked concerns over free speech protections after a police officer warned Christian street preachers they could face citation if their words offend attendees. And now you're seeing a lot more occurrences like this appearing, especially after that B9, the C9 bill that was passed. Whether they set up or not, we're not out there speaking in, parades and where there's great rallies and great, multitude of people, right? Because that's not wise. But they talking about what citations if people are offended, and anybody could just walk by, say they feel offended, call the cops, and that'll cause a a fine, ticket, soon even possible, incarceration, right? The way this is gonna go, and they're using all types of groups stating their religion in public. People are offended on social media. What they gonna do? Shut your channel down or whatever, right? Then you have over here, which wasn't too long ago, street preacher infiltrates, Kurt Franklin by telling him he's gonna hell with his wife, which we already in hell, man. It's a state of a predicament, says according to a report from the Christian Post, gospel music icon Kurt Franklin was visibly agitated during a tense encounter with a street preacher in Philadelphia on June 28, 2026, during the Independence Day festivities. And we're not, it's all these festivities, these different large gatherings, so I would tell brothers, that's not a smart thing, which we know others is going to do it, and one thing is going to lead to another, you know what I mean? And with that being said, I want to get this real fast. In the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 11, in the NLT, it says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. And we are familiar with his evil schemes. I mean, during even 2020, they were speaking about people shouldn't be gathering together in the streets. You got these whistleblowers as well, right? That not particularly religious per se, but they speak on things that's going on, as far as like warning the people of what's going on with these agendas, propagandas, and these elites, but it's all a crackdown on what you could say, what you can't say, right? And that's, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. That's all part, I want to get this in the NLT as well. The book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. It says, "The time is surely coming, says the sovereign Lord, when I will send a famine on the land, not a famine of bread or water, but of hearing the words of the Lord." Let's keep going. It says, verse 12, "People will stagger from sea to sea and wander from border to border, searching for the word of the Lord, but they will not find it." Right? So, this also causes like conflict amongst people, law enforcement involved, heat tensions. That's why the scriptures say, "Follow not a multitude." No, not they not. Don't be amongst these gatherings doing that, man. But we know how things are set up, and we know how they use certain people for certain reasons. Yeah. I want to get this real quick in the book of Isaiah 58:1. "Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins." Yet, so that's what we're supposed to do. Like the scriptures say, "Wisdom crieth out, she uttereth her voice in the streets." So we're supposed to warn the people about, dramatic times that's coming before the Lord shuts our mouths, before he stops talking, and then things start to occur prophetically. All hell is about to break loose. Wow, people are so worried about parades and rallies and, this whole, gatherings, these FIFA Cups, there's all these distractions. No, we're not going to be in the midst of that. You got to be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. So I would go, once a week to, and then you do your lessons, you edify, you prophesy, we're not inciting nothing, we're not out there with microphones, we're not, causing tension. If it happens, it's not intentional. We're not, like I said, we're not just going to parades and telling them, "Yeah, the Lord loves you." No. You know what I mean? And you also got like little groups that are provocateurs to provoke different gatherings. And we know how Esau feels about the rainbow people. It's Colossians chapter 1 verse 28. It says, "Whom we preach, warning every man and teaching every man in all wisdom, that we may present every man perfect in Hamashiach Yahushua." So the point is that, whom we preach, warning every man. So that's the point. Just to warn the people that the Lord's come back and everything that comes in between. But to basically be in the midst of areas where people are marching, and we know what this is leading to, all this. I'm going to play this real quick. That was, hold on. Goofy shit. Where's the edification in that? Where's the edification in that? right? So there you go. We're not challenging, but we know it's all set up. Just so they can, there's something called problem, reaction, solution. There's a problem, they cause the problem, then they see the reaction of the people, and now what? They're gonna come with a solution. Oh, now it's another law. If somebody's offended, boom, like, you know what I mean? It's alright though, because all these people are offended speaking about the words of the Lord. Matter of fact, I was thinking about a precept. You know, we're not offended, right? The truth is the truth, you know, but we see what's going on. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Alright, real quick. Because you're going to have people that's offended, especially when you tell them the truth in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Ukakodash. Say Matthew 24:10, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And these people that's amongst these different groups, they false prophets, man. You know? Right? Deceiving the people, thinking, yeah, they doing the right thing. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So, you know, yeah, there you go. So I just wanted to bring this out real quick to the spirit, you know. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.